And now, marine weather around Alaska.
Welcome aboard. I'm National Weather Service Meteorologist Peter Chan, and this is your Alaska Marine Weather Outlook on Friday, June 27th, 2025. And we start with the state of the sea ice, and the ice continues to melt off throughout the lower Chukchi Sea, and a number of openings, the shore-fast ice giving way to more opening water, and also too even along the Beaufort Sea coastline we had quite the influx of snowmelt runoff water from the north slope the past week and a half or so. So that's aiding to help remove and melt off the ice along the shore. Also pretty notable toward the entrance there of the Mackenzie River. So we'll continue as we slide into the heart of summer to see the water continue to open there along areas of the Arctic coast. As for the synoptic weather pattern this weekend, later tonight, early Saturday morning, we have low pressure sitting over the southwest quadrant of the Gulf. This occluded front will come northward and pull some moisture westward as well. That'll enhance areas of rain or rain showers across the panhandle and also provide the chance of some at least small craft conditions along areas of Dixon Entrance and around Prince of Wales Island, Clarence Strait. This low will give way yet to another little secondary low and wave that'll come northward Saturday afternoon into Saturday night. So overall, generally just a broad low pressure circulation is going to reside over the Gulf here for the weekend into early next week. Meanwhile, stronger low is going to be coming up out of the Kamchatka Peninsula into the southwest and western Bering Sea, so that by Sunday afternoon, we are looking at that low in front. May have some gale force winds with that, along with bands of some moderate to even locally heavier rain. Meanwhile, along the Gulf Coast, showery weather will be occasionally wet and breezy across the panhandle this weekend, and that rain threat continuing into Sunday, and some of that moisture pulling back as well toward Prince William Sound, the eastern Kenai. So a somewhat unsettled pattern, not as sunny or as warm as what we've seen a couple weekends ago. And looking at Saturday for the Panhandle, interchannel southeast winds, 15 knots, Lynn Canal and Stevens Passage waves, generally running a couple of feet. Now, Dixon Entrance, different story, as well as off of Prince of Wales Island, off of Craig and Port Alexander. Southeast winds to 25 knots, so we have those small craft conditions, waves 6 to as high as 8 feet there. Look for east-southeast winds, generally 15 to 20 knots north of Sitka, outside of Cross Sound, and outside of Yakutat Bay with waves running 5-6 feet. On Sunday, generally south-southeast winds 10 to 15 knots throughout the inner channels of the Panhandle. Waves 2-3 feet, Lynn Canal, Stevens Passage, as well as down toward Dixon Entrance, just outside of Ketchikan and Metlakatla. And then areas Sitka southward, south winds at 15 knots, swells there 5 feet. Look for southeast to east winds, 15 to 20 knots out of side of Cross Sound and outside of Yakutat Bay to Cape Suckling. For Saturday, Prince William Sound will see variable winds around 10 knots, waves a foot or two. Outside of Hinchinbrook Entrance, east-northeast winds 15 knots, waves 4 or 5 feet. As we go down, look at Cook Inlet, variable winds around 10 knots, Kamishak Bay toward Homer, waves a couple of feet. As we get outside of Anchor Point on up to Upper Cook Inlet, look for south to southwest winds at 10 knots, waves 2 to 3 feet. And then on Sunday, winds will be northeasterly 10 knots within Prince William Sound, waves running a couple of feet. Outside of Hinchinbrook Entrance to Kayak Island, we're looking at easterly winds of 15 knots, 4-foot waves. And then for middle Upper Cook Inlet, south winds of 15 knots, waves 2-3 feet. And east-southeast winds, Kennedy Entrance into Lower Cook Inlet at 15 knots, waves 3 to 4 feet. Winds on Saturday in the vicinity of Kodiak Island will be northerly 15 to 20 knots, waves 3 to 4 feet. And as we extend down along the Alaska Peninsula, we'll see winds southwest 10 knots within the wider expanse of Bristol Bay become west-northwest 15 to 20 knots as we trail out toward Cold Bay and False Pass. On Sunday, variable winds on the east side of Kodiak Island, only around 10 knots. Otherwise, northwest winds, Shelikof Strait and outside there of Chiknik at 15 knots, waves 2-3 feet. Those winds will become more westerly as you head on down the Alaska Peninsula, especially either side of Cold Bay, False Pass. West winds 15 to 20 knots, waves running at 2-3 feet. Now across the Aleutians, we are going to see area of high pressure, central eastern Aleutians in this region. Winds on the east side of the ridge, we're looking at northwest winds around 15 knots, could be as high as 25 knots south of Unalaska. Variable winds 10 knots between Atka and Adak, and then as we get west of there, south to southeast winds increasing to 30 knots. Kiska to Shemya, because there's that low, there's going to be a little stronger low come across off of the Kamchatka Peninsula into the southwest and western Bering Sea. On Sunday, winds are going to be southwesterly, eastern, central Aleutians around 25 knots as we get west of Adak. Winds be south, southeast 20-25 knots. You see some higher waves passing north of the Aleutian chain in associating with that more compact low and frontal system. Now along the southwest coast and the Pribilovs, winds are going to be northwesterly to 20 knots, Kuskokwim Bay, Bristol Bay, and back towards St. Paul, St. George. Along the lower Yukon Delta, we're looking at west winds at 15 to 20 knots into Norton Sound, waves 3 to 4 feet. And for Sunday, there's going to be this front approaching from the Bering along the west and southwest coast ahead of it. West winds 20 knots within Bristol Bay. Southwest winds 25 knots coming into Kuskokwim Bay, waves 6 feet there. Pribilovs could see southwest winds right out ahead of that front to 30 knots, waves building upwards to 10 feet. Southerly winds 25 knots at St. Matthew, and then generally west-southwest winds along the lower Yukon coast into Norton Sound at 10 to 15 knots with waves 2 to 3 feet. Those winds waves will be coming up along with the chance of rain, especially later Sunday night into Monday. But now areas of the Bering Strait and the west side of the Seward Peninsula and St. Lawrence Island, winds will be south-southwest 15 to 20 knots. As we come up through the lower Chukchi Sea, winds fall off variable around 5 knots off of the Lisburn Peninsula, and then northerly 5 knots off of Point Lay. As we get up along the Beaufort Sea coast, though, look for generally easterly winds on Saturday at around 10 knots. On Sunday, those easterly winds even come down further. I would say look for easterly to variable winds only around 5 knots, Kaktovik through Utqiagvik. They'll try to come a little more northeasterly down through Wainwright and Point Lay, but still rather light. Then once you get off the Lisburn Peninsula, winds will become southeast southerly to 20 knots. And coming through the Bering Strait, north side of St. Lawrence Island and up along the western Seward Peninsula, Nome to Wales, winds on Sunday will be south-southwest at 15 to 20 knots.